Hi, welcome to Texturing with Photos and Blending Modes. There are many different ways to apply textures to a painting, a still, or a particular detail of work. I'm used to texture my works when necessary, using photos combined with the different blending modes. I use mostly for backgrounds though. Nowadays, I prefer to paint from scratch mostly of the texturing you see in my paintings. Anyway, I think this technique is simple and can be applied with different photo and painting programs. Here you see me demonstrating it using Painter 12. I have painted a doodle panel with 6 different elements, and we are going to apply some texture using photos from my personal albums, some photos also as I got as stocks from different magazines I subscribe to, and so on. The whole principle you learn within the first demonstration, but I choose to repeat the process five times more. As you see, we have the 6 elements here, just for you to get familiar enough with it and try to reproduce it on your own using your own photos and photo or painting program of your choice. Here I have cropped the texture I would like to use for this cement-like thing in between the stones for this stone wall. I cropped and pasted about half of it to fit my aspect ratio, and I'm using a very thick low opacity rubber to make the transition smooth between these two cropped parts. Once this texture source is done, I diminish the opacity of this layer, in this case to about halfway, and apply the hard light blending mode to it. The area over the stones, I crop them off with a selection tool. You can experiment with your textures and you will find out that depending on the area you are applying it to, you will have to vary the layer opacity accordingly. Okay, we have cropped everything and you can see already how different it looks when I turn the layer invisible. And now we go for a different texture source, only to accentuate that you can use and add multiple textures to the terminated area object on your work. And I paste it here and adjust it to fit my aspect ratio. Yeah, hence here I turn it to the overlay blending mode instead of the hard light as we have done previously. And once I have my texture source adjusted, I will crop these areas around the stones so we can see both the textures we had applied in this demonstration. Now it's done, and it's time to compare how it looks now, turning the layer invisible and also adjusting its opacity. And just to play a little bit, we can add a little bit of depth to these stones and stone wall by marking some areas with highlights and shadows using the overlay blending mode for both of them. This will help distinguishing our two textures.